Hello YouTubers. Well, this is my first video of an individual piece. I've made some videos in the past on my whole collection that are on my channel, but this is the first single piece video that I'm making just to review this, and what better statue to start with than my favorite character, Captain America. And this is the 1/3 scale Captain America from Legendary Beast Studios in collaboration with XM Studios. And I gotta say that this piece, from initial concept photos to some of the convention photos I saw, were jaw-dropping, and in person it's just as impressive. This is easily my favorite Captain America piece out there. This is what you see now is a standard, what I'm calling the standard pose, with fist clenched, classic helmet, and the shield on the back. But there's a bunch of different display options with a pointing finger, as well as another swap out head that I'll show you later on as well. But bear with me as I probably stumble through this review, but I'm going to start to zoom in to get a little closer, and we'll turn around as well just so you can see the details on this. I can't find any flaws with this piece at all. I mean, the paint apps are some of the best I've ever seen on a statue. Maybe the bigger the statue, maybe the easier it is, but it's just jaw-dropping. There's no major issues with this piece, which I'm happy for a first piece from Legendary Beast Studios. This is a great introduction to their line. If they can keep up this type of quality and detail in their statue lines, then they're gonna have me for a customer for a long time. I've seen like their Magneto, as well as their Thor, which should be going up for pre-order pretty soon, and those both look equally impressive. So you can see, we'll zoom in on the head sculpt first, because to me it's like, if it doesn't look like Cap or the character that you're looking at, it's kind of a miss. But this looks like Steve Rogers to me. I love the classic helmet, the wings on the side. Texturing, I love texturing, as you guys have heard my other videos. I like the sense of realism, and the texturing I think gives it that type of realism. This piece is a mix between the comic style version as well as like a realistic version in my view, because you've got him with the comic book muscle proportions. I mean, he's jacked, but there's like elements of realism in it as well. But you can see like around the eyes. The eyes may be decals, but I mean just the paint around the blue of his mask. I mean it's spotless. I mean, and that's zoomed in. So it's incredible. Back up a little bit to the chest, and those are his two arms. It's his belt with all the pouches. This is the ultimate version of Captain America, with the knee pads and then lace-up boots, which again look like John Allred painted these. Let's turn around a little bit and give you a quick side profile view, which I like. Like I said, his chest he's jacked. The traps and chest on this, not Liefeld-esque proportions, but definitely a little more than the average guy has. There's the shield on the back. They went with a brighter red on the shield, the rings of the shield, which I'm okay with. I guess one thing, it comes with 3 shields. You can hold it on the back or in either hands. Those are the 3 shields, and I'll put the other 2 on later. But none of them are battle damage at all. I wish that maybe they'd had one that was maybe a little beat up or something that could show that it's been used. You get the elbow pads here, the gloves. Buckles in the gloves are amazing. I love the scale armor for the blue. Belt is America's ass. He doesn't skip leg days. And back of the boots. And the base. I mean, the base is pretty simple. It's got an eagle. He's standing on, I assume, what is probably a rooftop of some sort, and it's got like that textured base. There's actually two holes in the base, so there's actually a peg in this foot here. But I think you could display him with the peg into this foot here, so that it's essentially backwards from this if you don't want to display this eagle head forward, which I don't know why you wouldn't want to. I mean, I think it looks better from afar with the eagle head pointing forward, but it's another display option. I mean, because the other hole is hidden by the foot anyway, his other foot, so you wouldn't know it's there if I didn't say anything, or if you didn't own the piece and hadn't seen it disassembled. Base pretty simple. I mean, it's weathered. Nice job. It's light. The base is hollow, or mostly hollow. It's not eggshell thin, which is fine. I mean, one thing I will say about this is I was so happy to get a 1/3 scale statue in that came in one box and was about 50 pounds. I mean, it's heavy, but it was manageable to get in the house and to actually store the box away. Whereas I've had even some quarter scales from XM that are big boxes that needed a two-wheeler to bring in, specifically the Namor from XM. That one will always stand out to me. Okay, I'm going to pause it here for now and swap out the shield first, and then be right back. Alright, I'm back. I know I was going to put a shield on, but I actually realized you can actually display them without a shield at all. It's basically, this is a strict museum pose with no accessories. It still looks great. I mean, from a side profile, you can actually see how jacked he is. But that's a superhero for you. That super soldier serum is doing its job. And here's this star is got a magnet in there. That's where the shield mounts into. But if you don't have the shield on, you just put the star in and fits perfectly. Looks great. Okay, let me go. I'll put one of his shields on. Okay, here he is with the shield on his left arm. In person, I'm looking through this camera lens here, it makes everything look a little brighter than it really is, especially with the blues on him. Like, it's just a contrast, I think. In person, it's not as dark as this. It's a more of a matte finish, but maybe it's just the camera filter. I don't think I have a special filter on this, but this one thing I notice is that it makes the blues look a little darker and more and deeper than they are with the naked eye in person. All right, let me put the other shield on. All right, and here he is with the shield on his right arm. Like I said, it's having the three shields. It's nice, but maybe if there was an area for improvement, is that whether the shield's in his right arm or left arm, to me doesn't really matter. It kind of seems like overkill, honestly. If they could have done something different with either like a battle damage shield, or made it so that you could pair it up with the other torso with the pointing finger a little better. I mean, you can do it in the left. I guess it would work on that, but to me, it just seems like an extra shield doesn't do a whole lot for me. I don't know if it does for anyone else. Maybe if you're right-handed, you'll put it in his right hand, and if you're left-handed, you'll put it in his left hand. But I think I'm going to end up displaying it with on his back. Okay, let me swap out the head sculpt first. Let's see if I can put the modern head sculpt on before I switch out the torso, which has the pointing finger. Okay, so here is the modern head sculpt with the ultimate version of his mask. He doesn't have the wings on it. So that I'm painting on the sides. And this head sculpt is looking down a little bit more. He actually looks a little more pissed off, or to me, I think he's ready to bust some heads. Again, they did a great job with the paint apps. I mean, I like the little folds in the skin around the eyes there, like when he's squinting. You can see chin strap is painted perfect, wings. And this mounts right here, so it hides the whole seam. They did an excellent job hiding the seams on this piece. And the chest piece that I'll swap out afterwards mounts along here. Again, just a great job of hiding the seams. And as I'm doing all these swap outs, for most of them for the first time, I've noticed that all the magnets are all lined up great, strong. You know, there's no sense of that his arm's gonna fall out, one of his arms, or the shield off his back. So there's a lot of quality went into this, a lot of time. And it's well worth it. I gotta say, I really like this head sculpt, like the pose of it looking down. I wish they had maybe another head sculpt, like with a classic helmet with this type of look. And I don't know why, but for some reason he looks a little younger to me in this, with this head sculpt. But maybe it's just me. Alright, let me now swap out the torso and get the pointing finger in, along with this head sculpt. Okay, I've swapped out the torso and put the pointing finger on, and he's holding his shield. I think I'll try to swap out and put the shield on his back afterwards, but let's get in closer for this one. I gotta say, I really like the way, I think this head sculpt is supposed to go with this torso more, because like where it's pointing, where his head's angled down more and he's pointing, it just seems to go better. I can swap with the head sculpts too and put the classic portrait on, but where that's looking up a little bit more, that might look a little off, but we'll see. Finger, the pointing finger, I think it's probably the glove. It seems a little big to me, but it's probably just a glove, I guess. Actually, on camera here, it doesn't look that bad. In person, it just looked a little weird at first, but it's a great profile shot there. I like that. Yeah, I mean, this piece, I don't know how I'm going to display it, because I mean, there's not a display that I dislike really. I think I like the classic the best, but geez, it's a tough call. I think I'll be swapping this stuff out on a regular basis, and that's one of the nice things with these swap outs. It kind of changes the whole dynamic of the piece. I mean, it's a standard museum pose, but you got a bunch of different options that kind of convey different messages. Like this one looks like he's getting ready to lead some guys into battle. Okay, let me see if I can put the shield in the back or swap with the head sculpt to see what that looks like. I'm still laughing. I just swapped out the head sculpts on this, and yeah, the classic portrait where it's looking up like that does not go as well with this torso with the pointing finger, because he's pointing straight ahead, but he's kind of looking up. So that's one configuration I probably won't use, but I figured let's try it for shits and giggles, and I got a good laugh out of it. All right, let me swap the head sculpt back and put the shield on the back. Actually, real quick, so for those of you that already have this and are watching this video, you probably were waiting for me to discover that you really can't swap anything out on this configuration with this torso. So you can't remove the star on the back to put the shield on his back. The only arm that fits are these two arms here. All you could do is change out the head sculpt, which I just did, and like I said, it was just more funny than anything. So that's the piece overall. Like I said, it's amazing. I love it. It's a limited edition. I think they did 388 pieces. This is number 5, which is a low number, but to me that honestly doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot. But think that's about it for the video portion. Do one more spin, and then we'll wrap it up. Even from all angles, I mean, he looks good. They did a really good job with this. And for those of you that are in the Poly group, I posted that quick iPhone picture of him in my statue room with, I got the Alex Ross, the Avengers, the 5 set with Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, and Spider-Man as well. My goal would be if Legendary Beast makes all 5 of those, is to put those statues aside of each of the Alex Ross paintings, and they fit perfectly. So, although I'd be curious to see a Hulk in 1/3 scale. I mean, it's going to be ginormous. So we'll see if that would fit. Yeah, this seems a little bit more action pose, I guess, or like a recruitment pose. I don't know. Almost like an Uncle Sam, I want you type of pose. But I like it. I dig it. But I do think I prefer the classic version better. So I'm going to do one last swap out to the way I'm going to at least initially display them, and then we'll call it a day. So many configurations. I swapped out the torso and put the shield on his left arm, and here's with the modern, the ultimate head sculpt, which looks good. I don't know if I showed this earlier. Like I said, there's so many different configurations. It's just great how you can have the classic version of Cap or the more ultimate modern version, all in one piece. Okay guys, that's it for my first video review. I'll be interested to hear other people's thoughts on this piece, as well as suggestions for improving the videos in the future. Thanks guys for watching.